Thank you so much, Mr. White. If it wasn't for everything you did, I... Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss. Apollo. This is awkward. Athena, can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you punch me, please? What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust. Ow! Don't be such a dope! I was really touched by what you did. Huh? Now what are you talking about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. What is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how could I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? Didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago. Thanks, Athena. Thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. Looks like you have some promising young people working under you. What? Yeah, I think they're pretty great. Myself, they're enough for it to keep me in line. I have some very good news. Our Blackwell has surrendered and the hostages have been set free. Have you seen all the others? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do. So I granted her special permission to do what she must. I wonder what it is. Miss Blackwell? She didn't come to apologize, if that's what you're thinking. My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you. Miss, alright. You would not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incomplete idiots. Incompetent idiots. Still, I suppose I could let you handle the rest of this case for me. Miss Aura, does this mean you're starting to trust the system again? No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's Dust. I wouldn't mind if you were the one who took Mattis' killer down. Leave it to us. We'll get him. So I guess that means you start to trust us, at least. Simon, so glad both you and the princess were cleared of our suspicion. So thanks to me and my robots, you better be grateful. I never imagined you would go that far. But you always were extreme. I don't ever requesting your help. As closed as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in the slammer. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my cat trial. Probably give me the death penalty. You know me all too well. I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the Stinks just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aurora. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon. I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that. Aurora. Alright, that's enough of that. Bailiff, take me to the detention center. What Miss Blackwood did was inexcusable. But it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Fulbright being the Phantom. I can't believe he killed Clay. Right. And murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. Chief Prosecutor. Yes. I would ask a favor. Would you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand. That was my plan all along, after all. It's highly unconventional for a man of my position to stand in court. So, the formal paperwork is yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity and uncover the truth by your own hand. And let's obliged. The day to part with these has come at last. Chief Prosecutor, could you? How long have I waited? Maybe it's the sense of freedom. Even the air seems fresher. The light brighter. And I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy. I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is. I'm so glad, but I won't cry just yet. After all, we still got a trial to finish. It's okay to cry, Athena. I promise. Prosecutor Blackwell, Mr. White, please avenge Clay's death for me. What are you talking about, Apollo? You're coming to the defense's bench with me. I am? Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's a defendant. That leaves you, Apollo. But, are you sure you want me? I took a leave of absence and everything. Well, our office is pretty short-handed, and you're all I've got. Thank you, Mr. White. Apollo. Athena, I can say it from my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence, and now we're going to prove it to the ward. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it.
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right?
Right, because I'm fine now.
Now this is the Apollo I know. Welcome back, Apollo. It's time for the trial to start. It looks like you have things going hand. Yep. Let's head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things. Namely, the first people on the scene 7 years ago. The so later was said by the robot. And Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. Expect to be repaid for victory, right? Now, if you excuse me. Okay, you two all set to go? You bet I am. Let's do this. This is it. The final battle. The murder of Apollo's friend. Potent bombing incident. And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. Destiny has caught us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. Let us now reconvene. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has never been more ready. You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense bench together since I debuted. Now that you mention it, well, back then I thought you were more lagged and you were reliable. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. Grown a lot. Well, there have been some hiccups. I guess I've done pretty well. He's still got that ego of his, though. Prosecutor Blackwell, with the 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Yes, I guess we can keep that chit-chat for later. But bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately. Even if those handcuffs are Prosecutor Blackwell seems to be pretty much the same. 7 years of drunkenness doesn't go away so easily, I guess. Bobby Fulbright here. I heard I was needed to understand, so here I am. Detective Fulbright, do you know why you have been called to give testimony? Because there's only one reason why I'd be called. And that is because it's time for justice. In justice we trust.
Objection!
Can't force it to act anymore. Your justice is nothing but lies. What? Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? I mean, so sometimes I make mistakes, but hey. He's acting exactly the same as always. Tell me about it. Must be feeling awfully confident. Fulbright, if you wish to dispel our suspicion, then let's get to your testimony. Alright, fine. You want me to prove my righteousness? I can certainly do that. I am the very embodiment of justice itself. I won't have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments. And this bit about the escape route is only a theory. You don't have any proof. What we do have proof is that Athena Sykes is the culprit. The slider with her prints on it. So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false, and that the defendant is the real culprit? That's right. Mr. Lawyer's escape route is totally circumstantial. He doesn't have any proof that I made a big leap onto a ladder. We don't have proof. You're correct about that. However, you don't have any proof for your claim either. I guess you're right. But you can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyway? Justice just is.
Objection!
Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. Please don't throw the book at me. Just make me set the stupid pun for him. Just try not to lose focus, alright? My justice is crystal clear. It's not clear. All your eyes, wake up and smell the justice.
Silence!
Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. If you have even an ounce of justice, then you will answer the court's questions and prove it. Prosecutor Blackwell? Prosecutor Blackwell looks torn. Well, Fulbright was his partner after all. Prosecutor Blackwell is right. The truth will be revealed in the cross-examination. The suspicions against Detective Fulbright are at this point only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the detective as impartially as I can. Does anyone have any objections? That's fine, Your Honor. Now ask away and don't hold back. Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. I'm the very embodiment of justice itself. I wouldn't have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments.
Hold it!
My arguments are hardly far-fetched. There's skillful reasoning behind my theory. Yes, well, apparently there's reasoning behind even a tofu burger. But what we have against Miss Sykes, though, is not just reasoning but solid evidence. It's called the lighter with Miss Sykes' fingerprints on it and the victim's blood. Yes, that's true, but... Wait, Detective Fulbright was the one who brought that evidence to the trial. If you harbor any suspicions as exist, you ask Fulbright's right, don't What's messy about that line, He's right. What exactly should I ask about? So, how many prints were found exactly? 3. The thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger of our right hand. Your Honor, that is an important statement. Will you please have it? Add it to my testimony. You got it. Beat me to it. Be investigating or testifying. Speed is the key. 3 points on the lighter, the thumb, index, and the middle finger of a right hand.
Objection!
You say the prints are from a right hand, is that correct? That's right. Very clear prints. But that doesn't add up. What doesn't add up? According to Miss Blackwell, who saw the culprit herself. This person had the lighter in their left hand. Oh? So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints of the lighter from the right hand instead of the left? You're right. This makes sense, does it? Your Honor, this letter can hardly be called incriminating evidence. The witness's claims don't even hold water. Detective Fulbright, I hope you have a good explanation for this. I can't understand it. They're definitely right-handed prints. But then, why are they inconsistent with Mr. Blackwood's statements? I've got it. What have you got, Detective? The mirror. The witness must have seen a reflection of the culprit in the mirror. Go on. Miss Becker was looking in through the window of boarding lounge 1, wasn't she? I believe so. If you mean that little window in the back into the right of the room. That's right, across the room on the opposite wall. Is a large mirror. I do remember seeing it. So are you saying... Yes. The culprit Miss Becker saw must have been a reflection of the person in the mirror. I see. In that case, right and left would appear reversed, wouldn't they? Now you see. That's a logic of pure justice.
Objection!
But your argument is only conjecture. You don't have any proof that what Miss Becker saw was a reflection.
Silence!
I don't know. You'd sooner nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it. Huh? That's right. Besides, the light couldn't have been in the left hand. And why not? Miss Becker said she saw an oath emblem on the lighter, didn't she? The emblem is only on one side of the lighter. You're right. There's no emblem on the other side. Exactly. As blank and smooth as a judge's fine scalp. If the culprit had held the lighter in their left hand, they would have covered the emblem. Uh-oh. What's more, this is the kind of lighter you flick open with your thumb before lighting. So if the culprit had her in the left hand with demo sinned. If the victim had held it in the left hand with the emblem out and visible, they wouldn't have been able to open it, let alone light it. But if they had held it in their right hand, they could have easily opened it and lit it. That all means that the culprit was definitely holding the lighter in their right hand. No! Come back, my beautiful contradiction! It appears you planted a flower that bears no fruit. See how it withers before my flower of justice. He's tough. This man's discredited almost everything I've proven up to this point. In justice we trust. Now do you see, I'm not this phantom you've been talking about. I mean, are you sure there really is a spy? I bet they're just a figment of your imagination. Oh, it's so sad. So very sad, but I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, I believe you said that the emblem is only on one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that? Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see an earth emblem on both sides of the lighter? I knew it. You're lying, Detective. Pardon me? You mean... Yes, my bracelet reacted to his statement about the emblem. He's definitely hiding something big. And I think if we use my talent, we might be able to figure it out. Justice Stoner, are you to use that cheat of yours again? It's not cheating, Prosecutor Blackwell. Very well. Whether I like it or not, I suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on, then. You have Prosecutor Blackwell's reluctant blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up. Here goes, then. Detective Fulbright, could you repeat that last statement one more time? What in the world are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say it as many times as you like. Listen carefully. Your thumb is only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand.
Gotcha!
Detective Fulbright, you may not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase the Earth emblem, your thumb moves. In fact, it appears as though you're running it along the edge of your holster. Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion of what you're talking about. Be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me examine it. But why? You're not making any sense. You can't just...
Silence!
Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you? What? Not you too, Prosecutor Blackwell? So what this is all about, when Prosecutor Blackwell insists, there must be something important. I will allow the defense to examine the lighter. Good. Now maybe we'll learn something new. I hope so. Now let's take every inch of this thing. The back is covered with blood. Say, do you notice anything funny about this blood stain? Alright, it suddenly breaks off unnaturally. Supposedly the lighter was held with the right hand, so that the emblem was visible. So the print should be around the emblem and on the lid where you open it. Alright, there's definitely something off here. About the top of the lid. Detective Fulbright's words were definitely hiding something. Let's look for something that has to do with what he said. This is the oath that Detective Fulbright was talking about. Anything noteworthy? Hey, look at this. The emblem's actually some kind of button. Wow, it transformed into something. A handle, a trigger. Is this what I think it is? There's no question, it seems. What you have there is a gun. It. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial when Director Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, a mere .10 caliber. A slim, compact gun probably takes bullets of that caliber. It looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene. I'm flabbergasted. The lighter was a gun. So Detective Fulbright would touch his holster. That's right. Whenever he mentioned the Earth emblem, he must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. that transformed into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. It's not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Dr. Fulbright, you will explain yourself. There's nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was sent in the Space Museum and then I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out.
Objection!
Whenever you mentioned the Earth album, you touched your whole star. You subconsciously did that because you knew it was a gun. Accuse me all you want, but where's your proof? Do you have any evidence I knew the lighter was a gun? Not exactly. And whose prints are on it? Miss Sykes' prints. The person sees the culprit who fired the gun at the scene. It would appear that the detective is right. Are you guys really trying to prove your client innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this, now that we are where we are. I have to make the following assertions coming from the prosecution's side. The person who fired the gun at Dr. Cosmo was in the lounge after the incident. And the person Miss Freckles saw holding the lighter. And the person who murdered Mr. Terran. And the person who bombed the Space Center. Or the defendant Athena Sykes. The prints on the lighter are decisive proof. No! Now do you see, the man on the side of justice couldn't possibly be the culprit. I think this about sums up Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair. Evidence just seems to point to the defendant's guilt. Do you have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwell? Evidence is everything in court. Therefore, Fulbright's claims stand firm. Go ahead. Calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he has to as the prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. You shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bad head.
Objection!
This is the man who wears sunglasses at night. If it's proof you want, it's proof you'll get. I prove that this lighter is not Miss Sykes, but yours. And if you hit on something, Apollo, it's just the prints on the lighter are the basis for accusing Athena. And we should reconsider the credibility of the evidence itself. You think this lighter might be forged evidence? That's right. So I'll be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. Did you do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own? I can definitely think of a few things. It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter? Detective, we'd like to want a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Yes, I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. If we assume he's been lying a big trap for us all along, there's gotta be something off about this piece of evidence. What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? Are they really Athena's fingerprints?
They definitely match her print data. But what about the data itself?
Detective Fulbright, you're the one who improved us with the lighter and print data. Isn't that correct?
Yes. What about it?
You say Miss Sykes prints match the print data? I have to wonder, was the data you used official?
Mr. Wright, are you suggesting that the evidence might have been fabricated. I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Using the official sanctioned print data of the people involved in this case. What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity? There's no need for such antics.
Silence!
Your Honor, I lend my voice in defense's request. Just allow the test to be reran. Very well then. Bailiff! It appears that the official data is here. And the results? It's just as defense claims. This proves that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant. Yes! The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clay Tarrant. Those were Clay's fingerprints on the lighter? I see. Come to think of it, wasn't you, Foolboy, who collected the victim's prints? I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. When you took the deceased's fingerprints, you could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood. After which you wiped the blood off of his hand. By your own admission, you are also the one who compiled the phony print data. Put the blame on Miss Sykes. This blame must have been to distract us from the Phantom who is behind everything. You will actually create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit. So does this mean Detective Foolboy really is the Phantom? Remember the killer's escape route? No ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Detective Foolboy, you were the only one who could have used that escape route. Foolboy, are you really the Phantom? Answer me. So help me, I will slash you just tiny silvers where you stand. I don't talk. I confess. I'm not the Phantom.
Silence!
It's all over. Now be a man and admit it already. But I'm not a spy. I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself. An undercover investigator? That sounds less than wholesome to me. A person who hides his identity and secretly investigates in order to uncover information. And that's what you really are, Foolboy. That's right. I was working to track down the Phantom. But sadly, even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with him. What?
Objection!
You're telling us this now? But if what you say is true, then who was the mysterious person Mrs. Blackwell and Mr. Starbuck saw? It was the Phantom, I tell you. All I did was help him by having the emergency ladder lowered for him.
Objection!
I don't believe you. Then how do you explain the fabricated lighter? That was also one of the Phantom's demands. Being the detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence. Feeling the crime on Athena Sykes was just another one of the Phantom's orders. You expect me to buy that? Right. It was the Phantom's ultimate objective. I was told it was to sabotage the rocket launch. Someone who didn't want the launch to happen must have given him the order. Actually, have to bother you too. The Phantom told me to get close to you. He ordered me to get back that psych profile you have on him. So he set up a buzzard of his own to tell me this past year, did he? I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil. A pawn of the Phantom who stole the moonwalk and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. And there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believed I was the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. But I bet even now, there are assassins looking nearby. This case is about the Phantom after all. With the ceiling blown off, I suppose you are vulnerable to a sniper shot in this courtroom. 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like a criminal. Does he really think he's going to lie his way out of it now? On the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. White. We can't find a flaw in his logic. That's right. If we come all this way, we can't let Fulbright wiggle free now. There, I finally told the truth. Now I hope you see how foolish it was to think I was the Phantom.